What are their financial requirements to be successful? Collaboration with other franchise companies, with competition, and utilizing franchisee feedback is crucial. Technology and AI. The idea of efficiency was big. Utilizing AI. AI also is being kind of right into the CRM system. So a lot of great tech out there. I think that with a great team in place that offers phenomenal customer service, I think is a win-win in the way to truly grow your business.
Welcome to the Franchise Freedom Podcast, where you can escape the corporate trap through franchise ownership. Here's your host, Giuseppe Grammatico, the Franchise Guide.
Welcome to the Franchise Freedom Podcast. I'm your host, Giuseppe Grammatico, your franchise guide. Very exciting episode today. Just got back from Memphis, Tennessee. We just had our national conference, which we have twice a year, and got to sit down and talk with 125 plus of the top franchise companies out there, funding companies, fellow franchise coaches and consultants. It was a blast. Learned a lot, and wanted to talk to you about my top three takeaways from the conference. Recording this for the second time. We lost audio, so hoping to get everything here into the show. So diving right in, responsible franchising. So this has been a buzzword lately. Been hearing a lot more of it. We recorded a few episodes with Lisa McGill. I'm going to put those in the show notes here. And what is responsible franchising? And the way I define it is essentially, giving the potential franchisee all the information they need via phone calls, covering everything in the franchise disclosure document, speaking with existing franchisees so that potential franchisee can make the best informed decision. Franchisor, not only do they provide feedback and the information needed, but they also, each franchisor will have this, what I call a franchisee avatar. What does their ideal franchisee look like when it comes to transferable skill set? Do they need industry experience or not? What are their financial requirements to be successful? Taking into consideration marketing costs or build-out costs for a brick and mortar location. So responsible franchising really isn't something new. It's been talked about a lot more. And as I mentioned, that's something I also help with. I tell everyone that I work with, franchise is a business. There's always going to be risk reward, right? We talk about that, but you need to, do due diligence with the franchisor, speak with the franchisees, which we call validation, and then actually go and, for the most part, visit, whether virtually in person, with some of the founders, C-suite with the brand, to really understand where that franchise is going. Kind of, I always say, meet the captain of the ship, figure out where that brand is going. Are they bringing on income streams? Are they, any other exciting, revenue streams, announcements, and things like that. So that's what I define as responsible franchising, which leads us into, and you're going to notice, these kind of all kind of relate with each other, is the idea of competition and collaboration. So we had a lot of brands that were direct competitors of one another, just say in the painting space, the mosquito spraying space, the restoration space, just to name a few. And that's okay. Franchise companies realize that there's plenty of business to go around. Each franchise is based off of either a location or defined territory if it works in that market. So there is a capacity with every franchise as to the number of franchisees that franchisor can take on an award. So, the idea of competitors coming together to share ideas as to best practices, what makes a successful franchisee, ways to communicate that, onboarding, training, and things like that. That was huge. So, and just the general idea of all the franchise companies kind of getting together to collaborate on ideas of what's working best. And a theme that kept coming up was the idea of franchisee feedback, because sometimes the franchisor is putting all this great content and training, marketing, and things like that, but the franchisee is struggling in a different area. And without that crucial feedback as to, these are areas we need assistance with. We're getting lots of leads, but the quality of leads, maybe the deals aren't closing. So is it a quality control issue where we need to tweak the marketing message, or the platforms that we're marketing on is huge. So, collaboration, with other franchise companies, with competition, and utilizing franchisee feedback is crucial. I talk about that all the time. you need to let the franchisor know what's up if you're struggling in a key area, because they may not know you're struggling in that area. They may think you need more marketing when it's more onboarding, because you are, having a lot of turnover with your staff and things like that. So is it, who is the ideal candidate for that one position? Is it the onboarding and training? Maybe a combination of everything. So that was really big. It flows into responsible franchising, because responsible franchising, if you go to the first takeaway, you're taking into consideration feedback from people that bought the franchise, people that did not invest in the franchise as well. But that feedback is key. Listening to your customer, I always say, with any business, and constantly improving. So that was the second takeaway. The third was around technology and AI. And this was big, because franchisors at the end of the day want to make their franchisees more efficient. So the idea of, for example, using drones to go up on a roof and take pictures, looking for storm damage, and maybe hitting up an entire street in an hour or less, as opposed to having someone take out a ladder, the time commitment of getting on a roof, and then the risk, obviously, of getting up and down, each roof, and, taking out that ladder. So the idea of efficiency was big. Utilizing AI. There are brands that we were talking to that have AI, where you type in an issue. Maybe it's a technician that's offering a restoration or a cleaning or painting service, and they're able to put into the chat, this is the issue I'm having, and then get immediate, not just a response, but maybe some videos on how to troubleshoot an issue. And this comes in handy. So number one, the franchisee isn't getting pulled in, or maybe that manager isn't getting pulled in for every issue or question, but maybe that job is being done on the weekend, on a holiday, or kind of last minute. So that technician needs a response ASAP, and that just helps with the overall productivity and efficiency. The AI also is being, kind of right into the CRM system, so that AI really can factor in and predict how many leads are coming in for the day, for the quality, and not just for the day, the week, the month, and the quarter, and the year. So the AI is really kind of learning based off your inputs what you need. Sometimes we don't need more leads. We have plenty of leads, but we need to increase the quality. Or with the leads we have, we need to really nurture those leads and help them, right, and guide them through that buyer's journey. And so the AI is able to assist there, track everything, look at the number of opens, the interactions with the email, how long people are watching the video, and give you reports as to kind of where you're losing people. Or if you're not losing people, who are the people we should be contacting on a daily basis? That the technology really is just getting better and better. Utilizing Bluetooth to measure a room, measuring someone's backyard for just say a mosquito spraying service, never having to go to the customer's location, and doing it via technology, just putting their information and utilizing satellite imagery to calculate the size of someone's backyard, so you can quote them on the mosquito spraying for the season, or whatever lawn treatments and fertilization and things like that. So tech has been big. It does not place and get rid of face-to-face and having relationships, but it's really being utilized for efficiencies, marketing, reporting, getting in front of the ideal customer, and just really trying to leverage, because at the end of the day, we only have so much time in the day. We want to keep expenses as low as possible. We want to be efficient, being able to use the data. Sometimes we have all this great data, we don't know what to do with it. And the AI is always looking for trends, ways of improvement, taking a look at where for example, the lead flow is coming. You're doing all this, marketing and things like that to find out that all your leads are really coming through YouTube, and maybe you want to double down efforts via YouTube, maybe play some ads on YouTube. But that is crucial information. So that was something. So to summarize responsible franchising, which we talk about, I'm going to link the show with Lisa McGill, the two-part series, the idea of collaboration, both with and without competition, utilizing franchisee feedback, and then technology, AI, ways to make the franchisees more efficient, getting them, maybe, narrowing, the close time, for a customer signing up, instead of being a month, not even having to go out there, and being able to do everything virtually, having a customer sign up via the CRM, input their information, and given a quote, all without having to speak with someone. So a lot of great tech out there. I think that with, great team in place that offers phenomenal customer service, I think is a win-win in the way to truly grow your business. I know that's how I grow my business. It's a lot of face-to-face, maybe not in person, but via Zoom or StreamYard, which we're using for the podcast, and utilizing AI and technology the best we can to be in front of our, for people, educating as much as we can and responding and interacting as much as possible. So thanks again. It was an awesome conference. There were a lot of other takeaways. So if you'd like to jump on a call, ggthefranchiseguy.com, book a call, top right corner of the website. We go to these conferences every 6 months. We'll be in I believe in Texas in January. So looking forward. If you have any questions or just want to just general questions on franchising, let me know. Book that call. There's no cost for the call or for our services, and glad to help in any way possible. Thanks again for joining, everyone. Talk to you guys soon. See ya.
Thanks for tuning in. If you want to learn how to make the transition from corporate to owning your franchise, join Giuseppe on the next episode. You can also follow on all social media platforms and achieve financial and time freedom today.